The Mishnah has said, Kuflam Medalad, like quote from the Mishnah is that Kuflam Gimel Beis. The Mishnah had said that if he asks the Kohen Chutz Mina Matanas, he wants Shalom. If the Kohen sells him the Behema Chutz Mina Matanas, which means that the Matanas never belonged to the Yisrael. Right? So the Mishnah says, Potter Mina Matanas, you're Potter. Which simply means because it doesn't have them to give them. Right? And the Havamina would be, I guess you might still have to give the value because you didn't give Matnas Kahuna. Whatever the Havamina is, but at the end of the day, that because he doesn't own the Matanas, the Kohen owns the Matanas, so he's Potter Mina Matanas. So effectively, or Minhu, a contradiction. Al-Manas Shamatanas Shali. If the Kohen says, I'm going to sell you this animal, Al-Manas, a Kohen sells it to Yisrael, and then he's saying, Al-Manas, that when you give away the Matanas, you give them to me. So it's a sale on condition. Right? I'm selling this on condition, Al-Manas Shamatanas Shali. So then the halacha is nice in the kol kohen sheyirtzeh. So the ma'isa is kayim, meaning the mecher works, and even though he doesn't have to be mekayim b'tnai, even though he doesn't mekayim b'tnai, because he gives it to any other kohen, it's still the sale works. Okay, so the Gemara asks, by chutz. Right? When we said chutz min matanas, he's not chayav to give matanas. That over here, when he says al menas shematanas shali, he still has to give matanas. He doesn't even have to give it to him, right? But he still has to give matanas. So what's the difference? Says the Gemara, al menas achutz karomis. You can't ask from a case of al menas on a case of chutz. Why? Because chutz is shiura. Chutz, when I sell you something chutz from the matanas, the pshat is the matanas are taka mine. Al-Manas is I'm selling you the entire animal. On condition you have to give it back to me. And this is a difference that comes up in very starkly in the end of Masechta Gerushin, that if someone's Megarish and Isha Al-Manas Shaloi Tinasi L'Plani or Chutz, that's where this is sort of a type of Gerushin that he gives her a Gerushin that she's only divorced. She has a limited divorce. She's divorced for most people, but not for him. So that's, or the other case is on Manas, you don't marry him, and that's where the chiluk comes out very strongly. But over here it's the same. It's a similar idea. Whether I'm conditioning the sale on the fact that you're going to give me the matanas, or I'm just not selling the matanas. Says the Gemara Urminhu. So I'll ask you a real contradiction. Al Manas Matanas Shli Matanas Shaloi. Now you see over here that the matanas taka belong to the kohen, right? So it's like our Mishnah. It's like the case of chutz. So how we have one brayso that says Amanas matanas shali he can give to any kohen. The other brayso that says that Amanas matanas shali matanas are taka shaloi says the Gemara b'ho pligi marsav Amanas yurahu. Question is how you interpret the words Amanas. Some taka hold that Amanas is like a shiura. What he just meant shiura. He meant not to give it to him. Marsav Amanas la yurahu. And it's just a condition, but avada the entire animal is sold. And now the question of the Rishonim is basically why is this not a good Tanai? Why does he not have to comply to the right? He sold it to him al menas. He sold him al menas. That you give him the matana. So why not? So Rashi says it's like it's not his really. You're asking me, the condition you're asking me is not something that I could do because it's not mine. Since it's not mine, I don't have to. Huh?
What's not?
The Zraya, the Chaim, and Keva are never the Yisraels.
Right.
Huh? It belongs to like Shevet Kahuna. So you're asking me to do something with it, something that's not mine, right? So how could I?
Because you're selling me something in the condition that I do something. I have to get it, so I have to get it to you.
Right.
You can't go and can't do that.
Rashi sounds like because the actual Zohar Chaim Keva belong to the Kohen, right? So therefore you can't make a condition for that because it's not mine.
Rashi says, "Ein by koyach lahasnos." Who's that by? Who's it going on? To me, it sounds like it's going on the kohen. He has no koyach to say, "You have to give me the matana." It's not his matana. It's
the kohen. It's not the kohen's matana.
It's not the kohen's matana. It's any kohen's matana. He has no right to claim it. And you go to Yisrael, say, "I want. You have to give it to me."
Right, I know, but why wouldn't the sale work? Why wouldn't the condition? Why wouldn't the Tanai in Chanami? It's not his, but you the Yisrael now own it.
Works, but the Tanai was no Tanai. You can't make a condition on something that you don't have a right to. Where do you come to say that? If the sale works,
no, but you have a right to it. If you're the Yisrael, you have a right to it. So I'm saying I make a Tanai that your right should be given to me, meaning you have to give it.
Yeah, but that he can't do. That's what Rashi is saying.
Who can do it?
The Kohen can't do it. He doesn't have the koyach to make a condition that the matana should go to him. You certainly give it to any Kohen sheyitza.
Right.
Yeah, so, but why can't he make a condition? Why can't he limit that? Why can't he say you have to sell to me? You want this behemoth, you want all the steaks, and then the condition is to sell to me, to give it to me.
That's
why?
The point.
Why doesn't he have koah? You can do anything you want in 1 minute, right?
I think Rashi's talking about the Bailam because he says she'enan shaloi ela shel koyanim ninu ve'ein loi bohen ela toivas hano. The toivas hano is belonging to the Bailam. What the Israel does have is he has the right to choose who to give it to, right? So.
But he has toivas hano.
Right, so that's really the shaila. If you have toivas, why can't you be masna? Why can't you be masna the toivas hano?
Right.
You're right. It doesn't belong to you, the Yisrael, right? And therefore, I can't maybe make a condition for who it actually belongs to, right? Because it's not yours, but still you have the right to choose. So why can't I make a tonight for that right to choose? Right, that's what Taisus. So Taisus says, Taisus is also wondering why the mecher is kayam. Taisus asks why is it a good tanai? Why is it a good mecher? Why did the sale work or the tanai didn't work? Since the tanai didn't work, so the mecher also shouldn't work. So Taisus says no, it's like masna mashkas b'Torah because the Torah wants you to be able to give it to anyone you want. And this kohen is making a tanai against the Torah. Memela tanai batal, the condition is batal, and the mais is kaim. That's always the rule.
Maybe that's what Rashi means. That Koach means he can't go.
Means the Torah has to. The Torah forbids it from being. Okay, so this is the discussion in the Rishonim exactly how to understand why the tanai doesn't work. Okay, weiter. If he says, back to the case in the Mishnah where he says there were two cases. One of them is he asks from the Tabach to sell him the Bnei Me'ayim. Right? He asks him to sell the Bnei Me'ayim, and then within the Bnei Me'ayim end up being the Keva, right? He gave him the Keva also. So now that Keva belongs to the Kohen, right? So now the Mishnah says that the Yisrael gives it to the Kohen. He gives the Keva to the Kohen, but he's not allowed to subtract the original price that he paid because it's understood that when you said the Bnei Me'ayim, you didn't mean the Keva because the Keva goes to the Kohen, right? Which means that he never charged you for the Keva. So therefore, you're not able to subtract any money. However, if Lakhan Himenu b'Mishkal, if he actually weighed it for you, he weighed it, right, and you paid per weight. So in that situation, it was not understood that the keva would be there because the keva shouldn't be there. So therefore, the Yisrael has to give it to the Kohen, and he's able to subtract from the original price because it wasn't supposed to be there. Yeah, the Muslims talk about exactly what exactly the case was. It's only if the Yisrael was the one who actually weighed it. He went into the store on his own. It was a self-serve type of thing. He goes in, he weighs it, he weighs the meat on his own, and then takes it. So in that situation, the Kohen's the kohen is allowed to go to the Yisrael and ask the keva from the Yisrael. And who's the Baal Din over here? Who does the kohen go to claim it? He can go to the Yisrael, but he can't go to the owner because the owner sort of didn't have any yad in what happened over here. It was a self-serve. Aval shakalei tabach. But if the person who measured it out was the tabach, was the shaychet, so adin matabach, then Rashi explains this means adin is also matabach. You're able to go whether you want. You can go to the kohen and ask him for the cave, or you can go to the tabach and ask him, give me the value of the keva, or get the keva out of the guy. Meaning, I'm able to go and claim it from the actual shaychet also. Even if the tabach was the one who measured it, still the din is with the kohen, because the kohen actually has the keva. So now the Gemara is wondering what their machlokes is.
Which kohen is claiming this? I thought it doesn't belong to one particular kohen.
Right, it doesn't belong to a particular kohen.
Who's doing the claiming?
So it sounds like any random kohen. The Gemara had asked this. Rabbi Chisda holds that if it was nigzal, right, if it was nechal, right, so then no kohen could claim it, right, because there's no one kohen that can claim. But he says that if it's be'en, the Gemara answers that if it's be'en, since this is still be'en, the keva is right there, so then you still are chayiv to give it. So I guess a kohen can claim it in that situation because it's right there, as opposed to if it's gone. So I can't claim for you the value. That's what the Gemara answered before. Either way, I'm not sure if Rav and Rav Asi are going with that Rav Chisda that holds your butter. Maybe they hold you could be teveya. Any kohen could be teveya. I'm not sure. Okay. Either way, so the Gemara says, Lema de Rav Chisda kamiflagi. Maybe their machlokes is contingent on whether they hold of Rav Chisda. Which Rav Chisda? Rav Chisda. Gozal velonis yashu bailim. If someone stole something, and the bailim were not misyayish, the bailim did not give up on it yet. Bo acher, and then another person came to the gazlan ve'ochle, and then he ate it. Right. So now, who does the original owner go to in order to get his money? Does he go to the guy who actually stole it, or the guy who actually ate it? Right. There's like sort of two robbers over here. The first one actually took it away from him. The second one is the one who consumed it. Right. So says Rav Chisda, Ratza mizeh goyve, Ratza mizeh goyve. Why? Because before Yush, because it was before Yush, they're both called gazlanim, right? So according to Rav Chisda, you can go to either one. Demar isle Rav Chisda, Demar less Rav Chisda. So over here also it's a similar thing. If you hold like Rav Chisda, that means the pshat is that the tabach dished it out. Right, the tabach measured it out. If the tabach actually was shaykel, he measured out the meat to the customer, right? And in doing so, he had a yad in the gezel, right? He helped the item, the keva, from being stolen from the kohen. Why? Because he was supposed to keep it. It was his responsibility to keep it, and he gave it. So he's like the first gazlan, and then the kohen is the second gazlan, is the one who has it, right? So therefore, according to Rav Chisda, you'd be able to be teveh from both of them, and that's going to be the second shita. That's going to be Rav's shita of al shakaloi tabach adini matabach, right? But Rav Asi, who holds afilu shakaloi tabach adin imay, even if the tabach did have a yad in it, still you cannot claim it from the tabach. Why? Because even though yes, it was the tabach's responsibility to make sure it goes to the kohen, but he didn't have an actual yad in the gezel because he wasn't there. It was a self-serve, right? So therefore, the kohen can only go to the Yisrael, to the Yisrael who has the keva and claim it from the Yisrael. Demar isla Rav Chisda, mar less Rav Chisda. Says more light. No, maybe not. The kula alma isla Rav Chisda. Everyone agrees to Rav Chisda. The question is are matnas kahuna b'chalal nigzolos? Is it called stolen? Demar sover nigzolos. Demar sover ain't nigzolos. One holds it is nigzal, right? So the one who holds it is nigzal holds that the original owner, when he measured it out to the Yisrael, he's also part of the gezel, and therefore you can be teveh for him too. Umar Sover ain't exalts. The other opinion holds that because they're still there, it's not called stolen. We don't care where it is. It's here. It's there. At the end of the day, since it's be'en, it must be given to the kohen. It's not called stolen. It's not called stolen. So the tabach, even though he dished it out, but he does not. You can't claim it from him because yes, it was his original responsibility to take care of it, but he didn't steal anything, right? It can't be stolen, Michal. It's still be'en. It's right there. Go take it. So who could you go take it from? Go take it from the Yisrael. The tabach says, yes, I know. The halacha is that I was supposed to be the one to take care of it, but I didn't take care of it. Whereas now it's by him. So go to him. What do you want from me? That's the shita.
He wants to buy it and give it to their for the chayim. He's not around.
You want to get him
I want to buy him stomach.
Right. So you could sure buy it for him. The question is
so it's not stolen until it's eaten. It's not until there's no problem until it's eaten. The stealing part is. It's supposed that I want to get. I'm going to give it to my kite.
Right.
So why is so he can? There's no
You're saying he stole that? No. Now it's by Yisrael.
So Yisrael took it from the.
Let's say it's still by Yisrael, right? So then the kohen could come and claim it from the Yisrael. The question is who to come claim it from. If you want to choose the kohen, right? So then that I think the bailam of the animal have the right. Whoever owns the animal has the right to choose who the tabach gives it.
Can you sell it?
Yeah. Can he sell? He can sell the toivas hana. That's what you mean.
Right.
Meaning he can't sell the actual zorach and keva because it has to be given to the kohen for free.
Right. Can you sell it to some other Yisrael to give it to?
Yeah, definitely right. So the owner of the animal has that right to choose. It's called toivas hana. He has the hana of being able to choose which kohen to give it to, and that's worth money. And therefore, you can pay him, and that's the whole reason why it's worth money. Because let's say a kohen has a backer. Let's say you're the backer of Rabbi Klar. That's exactly why it's worth money. It's because let's say a kohen has a backer. He wants. And so you pay the store, you pay the owner of the animal, and you say, here, take $1,000 a year, and all your Zohar L'chaim and Kevas, I want you to get to this kohen, right? So you're not actually selling the Keva, but you're not buying the Keva, you're buying the right for him to give it to you. Yeah. Okay. So you could some just say this machlekes b'fnei atzma that Rav Omer Matas Kuna are nigzolos and Rabasi Omer Matas Kuna ain't nigzolos. But instead of saying the nafkamina that we're saying over here that there's going to be a difference whether tabach was shakal, if tabach was the one who measured it out, that's going to be the machlekes between Rav and Rav Asi as to whether you can claim from the bach or not, and then we remind the machlekes, right, as to whether matas kun have a is it called gezel b'chal because it's be'en. So instead of having it that way, there's a version just to say that the machlekes is whether matas kun are nigzolos or not nigzolos, and the nafkamina it would be the same exact nafkamina that everyone is masking. You can claim it from the Yisrael. The question is, you can also claim it from the tabach who measured it out. Okay. Weiter. Gershon is Gayer. Says the Mishnah. Gershon is Gayer v'oisei para, and he had a para. Now nishchito adshlan is Gayer. If it was shechted before he was Nisgayer, so while he was a goy, so a goy is putter, right? He's putter from the matanas. Mishin is Gayer. However, if you shechted it after he was Nisgayer, chayev. How about suffix? The suffix whether it was nishchata as before he dipped or after he dipped, right? Shiloh when exactly it was shechted. So then putter. Why? Kohanim want to take it out of him. Bring me a proof that I was a Jew at that point. So since this is a question of mumminess, right? So therefore, you have to bring me a proof. And the Gemara is going to go into it, but obviously, a Yisrael is allowed to eat Zohar Chaim and Keva. The Kohen is allowed to invite you to eat Zohar Chaim and Keva. That's not a problem. It's not usher to eat. It's not usher for a non-Kohen to eat it. It's just a question of who it belongs to. And over here, since it might belong to me, and I'm muchzak, right? In order for you to take it out from me, you have to bring a raya. Okay, Kasser of Dimi Amar, Rami le Rav Shimon Lakish Rabbi Yochanan. Rish Lakish asked Rabbi Yochanan. Tnan, it says in the Mishnah, Safik Patur. in our Mishnah it says that if it's a suffix, whether it's misgay or he's pater alma sfeika lakula, you see sfeika is lakula, that he doesn't have to give it, right? Or minhu, he's going to ask a contradiction. Chayrei hanimalim, from a Mishnah in Masechta Peah. The Mishnah says that in the Chayrei hanimalim are the ant holes. So they had these ant holes that they have a hole in it, right? And then it goes deep inside where the ants hang out, whatever. So Chayrei hanimalim shebetoich hakama, that are in the still standing grain. Let's say you're harvesting your grain, right? So now there's ant holes where you didn't harvest yet, the kama, where the grain is still standing, right? So harei elu shel bal habayis. So let's say you find wheat kernels or stalks of wheat whether it's in the ant hole or on top of the ant hole. You didn't get there yet, right? Since you didn't get there yet, so it's not called leket, right? The whole discussion over here is leket, that if you leave over, while you're harvesting, you left over a few stalks of wheat, you have to leave it to the ani, right? But over here, it's before you even got to the harvest, because it's in the kama, you didn't even get there yet, right? So therefore, in that situation, however, but what is behind the harvesters, right? If you find an ant hole where the harvesters already had cut the wheat, right, and then there's little kernels on top of it, so then the top kernels, the top stalks that are on top of the ant hole belong to the aniyim. Why? Because we say that it might be that while the harvest took place, it was dropped in there, right? And that's why you see the stalks on top, and therefore it's leket, right? However, the ones that are on the bottom of the ant hole, so that we say it couldn't have got there from while you cut. It got there from before, and that's why it's all the way on the bottom. Everything belongs to the aniyim. Why should suffix leket? Because even if it's a suffix leket, it's still considered leket. Okay, so what do you see from here? You see from here that Rav Meir holds that even if right, I guess he holds that the stalks that are on the bottom of the ant hole, it's still a suffix. You're not 100% sure it came from before. Maybe it came from the actual leket, and therefore he's mechayiv and he holds suffix leket. Taisus right away explains that he's asking also from the chachamim, meaning the machlokes in chachamim over here is machlokes in mitzias. The chachamim are very confident to say that the lower stalks that are in the ant hole for sure came from before, and therefore they hold that it belongs to the balabayas. But if it would be a suffix, they would also be masking to Rav Meir, and that's why Rish Lakish learns this Mishnah, that everyone's masking that suffix leket and suffix shikha and suffix peya. Right? It's just the question of whether it is a suffix or not. Chacham holds it's not a suffix, and Rav Meir holds it is a suffix. It's going to be important for the next step in the Gemara. So says so either way we have a contradiction, because in our Mishnah we say suffix, whether you have to give it to the kayin is l'kula, over here suffix is l'chumra. So says Amar Lei. So Rabbi Yochanan answers him back, Al takniteni, don't bother me, shebeloshon yachad ani shayna isa. This brayso that you're bringing B'Shem Rav Meir is all b'lashon yachid. The Tanya of Yehuda ben Igra Omer Mishum Rav Meir. It's Rabbi Yehuda ben Igra who says B'Shem Rav Meir suffix leket, the suffix shikha and suffix peya, and misafik you have to give it. But really, it's only das yachid. Don't ask me contradiction, because that's only das yachid. Really, the halach is like our Mishnah. So Amar Loi, so he tells him back, Al tishna oisa ela b'lashon tadl. Even if you want to say it's tadl, like they change. Some people change it to ben orel or adol. He's basically saying, I don't care who you say it b'shem. Even you want to say it b'shem tadl. Still, by time comer, he's saying the reasoning, meaning the reasoning still stands that suffix leket is leket. The Amar B'Shem Lakish, because meaning B'Shem Lakish holds that he has his own reason why suffix leket is leket to him, and that's what Rav Meir is saying, and the Chachamim also agree with that suffix leket is leket. That if there's a suffix whether you have to give something to an ani, you have to give it. Why? The Amar B'Shem Lakish might diksiv ani v'rash tzdiku. What does it mean? The pasuk says that a poor ani v'rash, two types of poor people, hatzdiku. You should be matzdikim. My hatzdiku. What does it mean? You should give him. You should give him tzedakah. If it means that in din you have to mizake him bidin and make him win in the court case. V'aksiv, it says in the pasuk v'dol, even a poor person lois the hedar beriva. You're not allowed to show him favor in a court case because you have to be totally impartial, right? So what does tzadiku mean? Ela tzaddik mishul chavatein lo. It's talking about a case when you have a suffix. You yourself have a suffix whether you owe it to him or not. So in that situation, we should go l'chumra, and you have to give it to him anyway. Not in the case of a court case. In the case when yes, it's yours, right? But you should still give it to him. So therefore, Rish Lakish holds that suffix leket is leket b'shita. He holds yes, you have to give it, and that's what Rav Meir is saying, and that's what the Chachamim agree, right? So it's not a question of das yachid or not das yachid. Rish Lakish holds is unanimous. So therefore, we have a steer according to him. Why in our Mishnah do we say that you don't have to give the matanas? So Rava says Acha para b'cheskas p'tura kaima. Over here, the para is b'cheskas pater. Why? Because originally he was a guy, which means the chazak d'meikar over here is that he's a guy. So the para is b'cheskas p'tura from matanas. But kama is b'cheskas chiyuva kaima. But the kama is being oimed to be mechuyev in leket. It's going to be. It might be. I mean, it's very probable that some of the wheat is going to be chayiv in leket, right? And therefore, it's not as if there's a cheskas p'tur over here. So when there's a cheskas p'tur, then you say amoisim mechavel v'rayit suffix. But over here, that it's very probable and it might actually happen. So in that situation, you do have to give it suffix. You go l'chumra. Okay, let's continue after. The Gemara goes into other types of sfeikas. Okay, so what did we say? We said that the Mishnah said that a suffix, whether he was this guy or before or after, suffix when it was nishchat, the rich guy decided he wanted to become Jewish, and so his kitchen decided to cook him a huge meal. When he comes back from Bezdin, he comes back from his milah, from his tefillah. What happened is that now he comes home and he says, when did you shech this? So they say, we don't know, we shechted it in preparation, right? But you don't know when, before, or after. So the suffix, it's a suffix, and he's not chayiv to give to the kohen because amoitz mechaver al varais. The Gemara asks, Rish Lakish really asks from the case of suffix leket, which she holds it's unanimous that whenever you have a suffix, whether you have to give something to an ani, he learns from the pasuk that ani varosh hatzdiku. In that pasuk you have to give it anyway, even though it's a suffix. So he's asking a Shiloh, why over here do you not have to give it? He answers the Gemara. So Rava answers that the para is b'cheskas p'tura, and therefore when it's really cheskas pater, he doesn't have to give it. It's only when there is no chazaka, there's more of a leaning to say that it might belong to the ani. In that situation, by leket also, in that situation you have to give it. Omar le Abaye. So Abaye asks, Varei Isa, if you have dough that you have to be mafresh challah from the dough. Nicest ajalain is gar. If you made the dough before he was nisgayer, he's pater min achala. But mishin is gayer, he's chayev, right? Obviously, a guy is pater in challah and he's chayev, and a yid is chayev in challah. Now, if you have suffix, you're not sure when he was nisgayer. Also, they baked him bread and they weren't mafresh, and you have to, right?
Same idea.
But in that situation, chayev. Why you chayev? Right, hooray! Didn't we just say over here that it's fake? There's a cheskas. The chazaka is that he's a guy, and therefore he should be pater. So says the Gemara, Amarlei Safek Isur l'chumra. No. Over there by Chal it's Safek Isur because you can't eat the rest of the bread. There's a chiyuv misa midei shomayim if someone who doesn't eat, who isn't mafresh challah. So over there on the rest of the bread there's a Safek Isur. Safek Isur is always l'chumra, but Safek is minus l'kula. So when the actual thing is for sure mutter to be eaten, the question is who owns it. So it's always going to be Safek l'kula because it's because there's a chazaka that he's a guy and therefore ma'amoitz mechaver al baraya. But over here, it's a suffix isur. The Amar of Chista v'chintarnim, Chiyashmoin is svekis number begir. 8 different svekis are said about a ger that's nizgayer. Arba l'chiv, arba l'ftur. For his chayiv and for his pater. Korban ishtoi. If his wife was yoledis, and we're not sure if she was yoledis before or after she was nizgayer, therefore we're not sure if she's chayiv or korban. She has to bring it anyway, misafik. Why? because she's in general that's to bring her Tyra. She can't eat kachim, she can't go into the Beis HaMikdash unless she does that carbon, right? So over there it's a question of Safek Isser, because if she was Taka Yid when she gave birth, right? So then she's not allowed to go into the Beis HaMikdash. That's a Safek Isser, and therefore you have to bring it to Chumrah. B'chala is what we just explained. B'char Behem Tmeya is also, he can't, if you have a chamor that has a peter chamor, right, a firstborn chamor, you're not allowed to use it. It's Asr Behano. So there's an Isser over there too, unless you're poided. So Avadish, what you have to do is he's poided on the seh. Peter chamor tifte beseh, right? So he's poided on the seh, and then he gets to keep the seh. The seh is his. The seh has no kedusha, and that taka belongs to him because that's already a question of bominus. But before he's poided, while it's still a chamor, there's an Isser Hano, therefore it's Asr. B'char Behem Tahira. Also, by B'char Behem Tahira, he cannot use it because it's a Safek Isser. You're not allowed to use the B'char. It has a kedusha. It's a suffix whether it has kedusha or not, and therefore you're not allowed to use it. You have to wait until there's a mum, and then in Chanam he gets to keep the muminus.
How do you say by the Yoled it's a suffix? It's a suffix that she's very Kolel Lazor. It's not that she was a ger, that she was a ger afterwards.
Right. I wonder if you could somehow make it into a tonight. I hear the kasha. Via carbon the suffix or karas ulecho b'kajim machetavi kapora. I think we do find that sometimes you bring korbanos al tonight. Right. If I'm chayev, so then it's. If I'm chayev, then it should be the chiyuv. If not, it should be an davar. It should be an asham. Right. I'm not sure. I hear the kasha. I'm not sure. Okay. Now the arba that he's potter from, right? We said that. Now Reishis Hagez. The Reishis Hagez is the first shearings that he has to bring, right? That he has to give to a kohen. It's one of the matzah kuna. They have to give the shearings, the wool from a sheep, right? So that also there's no kedusha, there's no issue over there. It's just a question of moment. So too a ger to be potter. Amatonos, so the matanos we do Zerach and Keva. Pidyon Ben. Also, his son. He's not sure if his son is a bechor, if his wife gave birth, right? Before or after he was Niskaya, right? So then it's a question of whether it's a Bechor. Also, the Kohen wants the 5 coins, the 5 slime, and he says, I'm sorry, I might say Mechavel Varaya. Upidin Petachamar, that the Pidyon, Rashi explains, this means is the Seh. The Seh, after you're Pidyon the Chamor onto a Seh, the Seh belongs to the Ger, and the Kohen can't take it out of him because I might say Mechavel Varaya. Okay. Those are liptur. Those are for the 4 that are patur by a ger. Okay, so we see this. We see that the distinction is whether we're dealing with Isser or we're dealing with Mum and it's only. Okay. Kiyasa Ravin Omar Kama Kami Ramazli. So Ravin comes to explain when Rabbi Yochanan answered. Rabbi Yochanan said, "Oh, this mission is a das yachid, right?" So Shlaka shot him down because he said, "What are you talking about? It's not a machlokes b'chlal. It makes a lot of sense. Forget about it. It doesn't make a difference who said it. At the end of the day, it's a unanimous thing that you have that ani v'rash tzdiku, that you have to be matzdik and ani. So I don't care if it's a das yachid or not. It's still a stira. So Ravin is saying, no. You have to understand that Rabbi Yochanan answered that it's because Rish Lakish really had a stira also from Kama, meaning he had a stira on the Mishnah and Pei over there. There was one brisa, this brisa that we have, that said that he's potter, that he's chayav in Kama. No, that he's potter in the Kama. Right? Ours says that he's potter in Kama. In the place where they didn't get to, right? In the wheat that they didn't get to, we said you're potter because they didn't start harvesting yet. But then he brought Rish Lakish brought a brisa that says that you're chayav, right? In the Kama, in the wheat. And it's over there. Kitzur, Rish Lakish brought a stira within Masechta Peah itself, within the case of Kama of the you find the wheat in the ant holes right over there. Rish Lakish himself found the stira. Another brisa that's chaylik on the brisa that we brought, on the mission that we brought, and therefore Rabbi Yochanan was answering and saying, no, this is das yachid, don't worry. Meaning, our version is that Rish Lakish asked from our Mishnah to the Mishnah of Peah, from the case of Ger to the case of Leket, and Ravin is saying that really Rish Lakish asked from the same exact case of Leket. And the other brisa that he had said he was chayiv, and that's a stira. So on that Rish Lakish said that. On that Rabbi Yochanan said it's only a das yachid. Okay, a different version of how the of how the conversation between Rech and Rish Lakish went. Okay, Levi Zora b'Kishar. Levi planted in Kishar was a place. V'lo hava aniyim l'mishka leket, and there was no aniyim to take the leket. So Asa came to Rav Sheshes. He came from Rav Sheshes. Amalei le'ani v'lager ta'zayvasam. The pasuk says, leave it for the ani and ger. But so you leave it for a poor person or a ger, but you don't leave it v'loy la'orvim v'loy la'talef. You don't leave it for the birds and the bats, right? So basically he's saying keep it. Right? There's only an issue of leket if there's anim there. If there's no leket, if there's no anim, so you should keep it. So Mesivei asks the Gemara, "Ein mevi'in truma." You don't bring the truma loy migarin la'ir. If you have a warehouse of tvua, right? You have the place where you keep the tvua. You don't bring it from the garin to the ear. V'loy midbar la'yishuv, and you don't bring it from the desert to the settlement. You're supposed to leave it there. However, and the kohen goes there and takes it. The Yisrael doesn't have to bring it. The Yisrael it's not the responsibility of Yisrael to go hire workers and hire trucks to bring the truma over. The kohen, if the kohen wants it, should go take it. However, if there are no kohanim, so soicher para, so then you do have to hire a para. Umevia mipnei hefsed. Then he brings it so that mipnei hefsed truma, so that the truma doesn't get. The truma does not get spoiled, right? And then what happens is that when he finds a kohen, he gives it to the kohen and he charges the kohen for the transportation. That he will be mechayev that to the kohen. But either way, what do you see here? You see that he can't just leave it, right? And he can't just keep it for himself. He has to actually keep it, and when a kohen comes his way, he'll give it to him. So what asks the Gemara? Why don't you? So by us also, he should have to keep it, and maybe he'll use it or whatever. But the money he'll have to give to an ani when an ani comes his way. So says the Gemara, Shani Truma de Tivla. No, Truma is different because Truma, without being mafresh Truma, it'll be Tevel. And he doesn't want. He cannot not be mafresh. Basically, the way they explain is that the Gemara understands that Avada wants its truma, you're not allowed to let truma go to waste. Because truma, it says there's mishmerish to Rumaisa, you have to watch truma. The Gemara is sort of bringing right from the fact that he was b'chlal mafresh. Why do you have to, if there's no kohanim, so don't be mafresh, just leave everything there, right? And the Gemara is saying, from the fact that you can't leave everything there, you see you have to save things for the kohanim. The Gemara's answer is no, it's not true at all. Maybe you could just leave things there, and we don't care about the kohanim, right? We don't care about the ani, you just leave it there, right? There's no responsibility of you to keep it. However, over here in this situation, he has to be mafresh because he wants his chelik, right? The balabais wants his chelik, and therefore Avadi is going to have to be mafresh in order to get his chelik. Once he's mafresh it, then there's truma. Once there's truma, you have to take care of it because truma. Everyone understands that truma is different because it says in the pasuk Mishnash to Ramai side. So Gemara says that shani truma is different than tivla because without being mafresh truma, it's going to be tevel. The leisagi the mafresh Avadi have to be mafresh, and therefore in that situation he's forced to keep it, and he's forced to give it to save it for the kohen. Masha'inkin by leket, just maybe you can just leave it, or you can just keep it, and you don't have to save it for a kohen. Says the Gemara, Varei matonis. If so, I can ask you kasha from matonis. By matas kahuna, by our zroyal chayim and keva, they're not tevel, right? It's not tevel. If you're not mafresh, it's not tevel. Vitanya, welcome shinagu limlig. In a place where they're noyeg limlig, Rashi says is when they used to cook the meat, they used to cook it together with the skin. That's what limlig means. So in that situation, when they used to cook calves, they used to cook it with the skin. You shouldn't skin the zroy. You should leave it on for the kohen because that's the accepted thing that it comes together. In a place where they were noyeg to skin the head, you should not be mafshit the lechi because that belongs to the kohen. Right? You shouldn't skin it. However, if there is no kohen, so what you do is you sell it for money, and then you eat it, so that the kohen doesn't lose out, right? And then when the kohen comes around, you give it to him, right? So says the Gemara, you see from here that you have to leave, just like you have to leave it for the kohen, you have to sell it, keep the money. When the kohen comes around to give it to him, so too we should do the same thing by the ani. Says the Gemara, no. Shani matas kahuna to nesina ksiva bei. By matas kahuna, there's a lashon nesina. But no sound like kohen, right? Masha'en came by by ani there's no din nesina, just says tazev. So hashta dasis lahachi. Once it says once we're saying this, also truma nami nesina ksiva beit. But truma also says nesina, and therefore there's a din that you have to give it, and you can't just leave it. You have to give it. Okay, so truma and matanos are different because it says nesina, and by ani it doesn't say nesina. It says the Gemara velatazav yiser lam. At least the Gemara says why do you need the second tazev? By leka chikon peya it says twice tazev. So now that you're telling me that it can't mean to include. It can't mean to be marbe that I have to watch it. I have to keep it for the kohen because you just told me I don't have to keep it for the ani, right? You just told me I don't have to keep it for the ani. So what is tazev coming for? Because the Gemara had a havamina that maybe tazev would be teaching me that I have to keep it for the ani. Says the Gemara now that we disproved the ela tazev yiser lamali lechedetanya. For the following brayso, mafkir is kamar. If someone makes his vineyard hefker ul shachar, and the next morning he gets up, hishkim ubitzara, and then he harvests it, right? So he's still chayiv the peret. Those are that's the matasanim that come in a vineyard. Peret are the little grapes that fall. The ayules are the unripened clusters. Right? Shicho pei, he's chayiv if you leave the bundle and the peya. He's chayiv in all that, even though regularly hefker is pater. Why over here is he chayiv? And this situation he is pater min ha'maisos because it's hefker also, right? So why is he chayiv? Because we learn from the pasuk tazoiv, right? That no, it's to be mar. But even in this situation, you have to leave it for the aniyim. Why? Because it's like a type of a trick you could do, right? Because you go to sleep, you say it's hefker, and then in the morning you start harvesting, right? You just want to pater yourself from like a chikon peya, right? So therefore we say no. In that situation, you're still chayiv. Okay. Ahu sukkah, this sukkah the dinari, a sack of coins, the asal of midrash that someone donated to the yeshiva, to the base medrash. Kodim Rabbi Ami got up, and he grabbed it, and he was koineh. So Vehechi Averachi asks the Gemara, how did he do that? Didn't we just learn previously that whenever it says v'nosan, right? It means it has to be given to you, right? So why did Rabbi Ami grab it? It's not a nice thing to grab it. We said you have to wait till it's given to you. Says the Gemara, Rabbi Ami nami la'anim zochaben. Pshat is Rabbi Ami wasn't kind of for himself, so you shouldn't grab it for yourself because it says v'nosan. But he was being mizaked anim, and therefore he had a right to take it. Or a different pshat, Adam Chashuv Shaini. Then Adam Chashuv is different. Because he was an Adam Chashuv, therefore he was allowed to grab it. The Tanya of HaKohen HaGadol Meyachav, the Kohen who's the Kohen Gadol, he's supposed to be Gadol Meyachav. Shia Gadol Meyachav b'noyu, he has to be handsome, b'chochma, b'oisher, he has to be richer. A Kohen Gadol has to have all these things. And Kerem Oimrim, minayin im ein loy, how do we know that if he doesn't have any money, she'echav HaKohen Megadol noisei, that his brothers, the Kohanim, should give him and make him gadol. Tamalomer v'akohen gadol mei echav. He's gadleu mishel echav. A gadol mei echav, right? How's he gadol from his brothers? Which is his brothers are the ones who give him money. So you see over here that a gadol, kohen gadol, also Rav, you should have noi chochma oisha, right? And therefore, Rabbi Ami really had a right anyway because it was the responsibility of the tzibur to take care of their Rav, to give him oisha anyway. So therefore, he had the right. He's different. He had the right to actually take it. Okay, Maslisin. Ezu Azroya. What is the Zroya? So we said Yechayev and the Zroya, the L'chayim, and the Keva. Right? What are these things? Ezu Azroya min haperek shel harkuva ad kaf shel yad. That's from the first knee. Right? An animal has two knees. Right? It's really three. There are three parts of the animal's leg, and with two knees. There's so min haperek shel harkuva means from the bottom knee. Ad kaf shad all the way to the top. So it's really the entire front leg, right? Minus the bottom part where the hoof is attached to. That whole part is pater. The hushal nazir, and that's the same zroya of a nazir that the nazir brings a part of. He cooks the zroya b'sheil. He cooks the zroya, also part of the nazir's ritual. That's the same zroya. Uchnegdoi b'regel b'shaik. And the same thing. The shaik that goes by kachim, the shaik that goes to the kohen, the shaik and chazeh, right, that go to the kohanim, it's the same exact thing in the regel, meaning in the back. In the back foot, same exact part of the back foot goes to the kohen by kachim. Rabbi Yehuda says no. Shaik is min haperek shel harkuva ad tzovach shel regel. so he holds it's from the bottom knee, but until the Rashi says it's perek shebein akulis ve'etzem moim tzoi. Basically, it's until the top part. So according to Rabbi Yehuda, he only gets the middle. The zroya that's given to the kohen is only the middle part.
He wants to appease his guest and his boss, right?
Meaning not the top part, I guess, is called the thigh, the yerech, right? And the bottom is called is just the one that comes with the hoof. So he gets only, according to Yehuda, he gets only the middle part. Okay. Ezo lechi. What is the lechi? Mina perek shel lechi from the joint of the lechi. I guess where it opens, right? Where the jaw opens. Ad pika shel gargeres, until the opening of the windpipe. So meaning when you cut the mouth of the animal, right? So you would cut it where the cheeks, where the jaw, right, where the top jaw and the bottom jaw meet each other, right? That's the perek shel lechi, and then you don't just chop the jaw down and give him just the bottom part. You have to cut out all the way until the windpipe, and you give him the whole thing. Okay, and it includes the tongue, right? So there's a question of whether it means the top part of the jaw. Also, most hold it's only the bottom and includes the tongue. Yeah. Tan Rabbanan. I don't know if there's much to do with the top chlal. I don't know. It's just bones. But the bottom includes the cheeks and it has the tongue, and therefore that goes. Okay. Tan Rabbanan. Hazroya zezroya yamin. Hazroya says an extra hey, right? Hazroya. What is the hey? Zezroya yamin. Ato Amar zroya yamin. You're saying it's the right one. Ayen el zroya. So it's the left one. Tam lemer hazroya. The hey. My Talmud asks more. How do you know from the hay? Kadam marava hayerech ham yumenes shebayarech. Also, we're talking about the yerech of the gidanashe. Hayerech. That's referring to the right one. The hay means the one. Which one does it mean? The better one, which is the right one. Ochanami azroya hamiyuma, the right one. Hamiyuman shebazroya, the right one of the zroya. V'alechayim says the more. What about halechayim? The hay of lechayim l'may also lahavi tzemer shabresh. That's to include the wool that's on the head. Tzemer shabresh kvasim, the wool that's at the head of the kvasim is se'ar, and the hair that should be zakon tiyashim, that's on the beard of the goats. Right, so that also goes to the kohen. That's from the next tray. V'hakeva l'may also. What's the hay of hakeva? What's that coming to include? Lavi chelev shal give hakeva. The fat belongs to the kohen. V'chelev sheb'seich hakeva, and chelev it's in the keva. Also, these things that is coming to include that. The Omer Rabbi Yeshua, like we see, Rabbi Yeshua says, Kohanim nagu b'ayin yafeh. The Kohanim had a good eye, meaning they were generous. V'nosnu l'bailam, and they gave the chelev to the bailam. Time of the nagu, it's only because it's a minig, meaning it's only a minig that they actually gave the chelev to the bailam. Haloi nagu, but if they weren't noyeg, that dideyu taka belongs to them. So you see that the hay teaches you that the chelev does belong to them, and then there happened to be a minig that the kohanim were generous and they gave it to the bailam. But meikar adin, it belongs to the kohen. Darshet chamurus hayomer. The people used to be darish these sophisticated psukim. The complicated psukim, they used to say Hazroya keneged hayad. Hazroya is keneged the hand, right? V'chen oimer vayikach roimach biyodoi. So this drush is explaining that the parsha of Zroya Chaim and Keva is really a reference back to the story of Pinchas. Why were the kohanim zoicha in this specific matanas? It's connected what Pinchas did. So it says by Pinchas vayikach roimach biyodoi, right? When he killed Zimri. So he took it in his hand. So that's why there's Zaycha to the Zroya. Rashi also says that we learned that it's the right hand over here because the Mustama took it in the stronger hand, the right hand. Ul Chayayim Keneged Tefillah. And the Kohanim get to the Chayayim because Pinchas davened before he killed Zimri. He davened. And Keva, Kimashmo. And why did they get the keva? It's partially why they got the keva. Right? When he stabbed them to the keva. So therefore, the kohanim got the zroya the chayim in the keva. Now the Tana Ma'aseh the Mahacha. Another brisa brings it from here. Shoika yomin in the Ela Shoika yomin. This shoik is talking about
Maybe he wanted to eat it.
by the Shlomim, I guess, whenever the Kohen gets the Shaykh. So over there it says Shaykh Yamin. Actually says the right one. Any other Shaykh? How you mean? Zroya Mukdashim Minayin. How do you know the Zroya of the Nazir, right? The Zroya of Kachim, that's the Zroya of the Nazir. How do you know that also is the right one? Tamaloy Mar Truma. Zroya Chulin Minayin. How about the Zroya of Chulin that you have to give to a Kohen? How do you know that is the right? Tamaloy Mar Titanu. Okay, so he learns it all out from this pasuk that everything has to be the right. Ezu Lechi Min HaPerak Shel Lechi Vat Pika Shel Gager. So what's the Lechi? It's from the joint of the cheeks, where the cheeks connect to the jaw, the ad pika shel gageris, and until the opening of the windpipe. Rashi says it includes the tabas agdoila, right? We said that on top of the windpipe there's this big tabas, the big one that has, right? They're all the windpipe is made up of rings, and the top one is the big one, so it includes that. That's
It goes all the way around.
Huh?
It goes all the way around.
That one, right? That one, the cartilage was all the way around, right? And so when you cut it at the joint, and then you go all the way down to the tabas agdoila. Okay, Vatani says Gemara noitla ubeis hashchita ima. Doesn't it say that you take it together with the beis hashchita? Right? It sounds like you go much further down. Beis hashchita usually is not right at the top; it's further down on the neck. So it sounds like you have to go even further than the opening of the gageres. The Gemara says like kasha harabanan v'Rab Chanina ben Antignos. This brisa is going according to the Rab Chanina the Rabbanan. This brisa that we just read is going to according to Chanina ben Antignos, and our mission is going to Rabbanan. But there really is no machloikas in terms of Zrayach Layam and Keva. Everyone agrees that you go only to the opening of the Gageris, Tabasik does include. The question is that considered Beis Hashchita? The Tanya, Mugremes Psula. Chachamim say that if you go too high, and they hold that if you go until the Tabas Agdoila, it's a pasul shchita. It's agroma means the shchita is out of place, so it's pasul. Hey, Rabbi Chanina ben Antignos al Mugremes Shikshera. He holds Mugremes is kosher. So according to him, it is considered Beis Hashchita. So therefore, he doesn't mean to say you have to give more to the Kohen. He just means until the Beis Hashchita, and that's where the Beis Hashchita is. Chachamim hold. Chachamim would not call it the Beis Hashchita because according to them, that's not the Beis Hashchita. If you shech there, it's possible because they hold it's called Agram over there. Therefore, they don't use the term Beis Hashchita. V'yisema hava Rabbanan. Both of them are Rabbanan. Umay ima de behema. When we say Noitla u Beis Hashchita ima, it means the Beis Hashchita stays with the behema. It doesn't mean Beis Hashchita is ima goes with the lechayim. No, it's the opposite. The Beis Hashchita, Noitla means the kohen takes the lechayim, but Beis Hashchita ima means Beis Hashchita stays with the animal. Okay, Ad kan hajnullah chazor l'chayim and keva.